Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment. And we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. So let's get straight into this video here. So I did a video, we did a video on Sunday that a lot of people watched and a lot of people liked. And I also noticed from reading through the comments that most of the people that watched that show were very surprised by what I had to say because I went after Victor Wembanyama. And I don't know if people thought that I was, going to be protective of Victor and because I was hyping him up and all of that. But I don't understand why people are so surprised by this. Look, we're not one of those channels where if we have a favorite player, we don't call him out. We do. Go look at the videos that I've done on Kawhi Leonard. Go look at all the videos to the point where I even said I wouldn't even talk about him on this channel until he gives me something to talk about. So we've been doing that. And I noticed that it turned off a lot of Victor Wembanyama fans because they're like, why are you attacking the guy? No, I refuse to come up here and make myself look like a damn idiot, like what these LeBron fans do who can never seem to criticize their favorite player. I'm not doing that. When Victor Wembanyama played well, I give him his credit. But when he played poorly, I called him out. But beyond his play, the thing that is standing out to me is his attitude. And his level of arrogance that, frankly, I do not like. He's showing signs of someone that doesn't have sportsmanship, someone that's a sore loser, kind of similar to LeBron. Because LeBron has a history of this, especially early in his career where his opponents would lose, he would walk off the court. And that was one of the reasons I just decided I cannot support LeBron James because of his antics. Not that, oh, he's not a great player. No, I'm not saying that. No one is saying that. It's the antics that made me not like LeBron James, the things that he does, the things that he says. And that's what I noticed with Victor. And everyone talked about it, flagrant fouling and all of that stuff. But there was a particular video that's going viral now. And the last time I checked, this particular video, and I think it was posted by a page called New York Basketball. And this video has 5.4 million views. It was posted yesterday. And it's a video of Victor Wembanyama at the end of the finals. After the buzzer sound, he just walks off the court. He doesn't go to congratulate anyone, nothing like that. And to me, I thought that looked very, very bad. Take a look at this video here.
The Knicks are finally in.
So you saw the video footage there. That's not going to work for me. I remember when my favorite player of all time, Kobe Bryant, lost in the NBA Finals in 2008. And it looked like tears were coming out of his eyes. And Kobe walked up to every one of those Celtics players and congratulated them. He congratulated them. He showed sportsmanship. And I think that's what helped him win the next two titles after that. He congratulated them. And to me, that matters. Things like this matter. And it looks like other people are taking notice about this. Today, I tuned into a segment of Get Up this morning. And it had a panel of Jay Williams, Brian Windhorst, Alan Hahn, hope I got his last name right, and Mike Greenberg. And they were talking about this very thing of Victor Wembanyama showing arrogance and disrespecting the competition. And it's something that they called out. And I think they were 100% in bounds for calling Victor out because he deserves to get called out for this. Take a look at this footage here.
To question, what are the right things to say about him today?
Yes, he absolutely has shown that he is very likely the future of the NBA, and he's shown he is not a finished product. We saw a streak of immaturity that really came to the fore in this postseason. Some of his decisions were really hurtful to his team, including the flagrant fouls. We will never know what would have happened had the NBA considered suspending him for the potential flagrant that wasn't called on Jalen Brunson. He might have not been playing in a Game 6 tomorrow because of some of his decisions. We also saw a player that under the immense pressure didn't have offensive moves to go to. And he was self-critical of that, even more so when he answered questions in French. When you see the translations, he was self-critical of how much he needs to improve. I know that some of his comments came off as arrogant, and I definitely think there is a streak of arrogance in him as well. But I think all in all, him talking about how much he needs to improve and how much his shortcomings affected his team is the correct way to respond to the way this series went.
Alan.
Absence of self. He studied with Shaolin monks, and that's one thing that they teach. He did not have that. And there's a thin line between confidence and arrogance. He displayed the arrogance part of it, because if you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk it. And you're pointing to your head saying, I'm in your head, and then you're bricking free throws and turning the ball over and not making plays down the stretch. That's coming back to haunt you. He lacked humility. He'll learn. But one thing he also needs to learn from all this is to acknowledge the opponent. He walked off the floor after he was taught how to win by Jalen Brunson and the Knicks. One day he's going to win a championship. I'm going to say that with confidence. He's going to win a championship one day, maybe more. And when he does, I hope at that moment he realizes, I learned how to win by losing to that team and that guy, because Brunson sought him out and made sure to let him know, my response to you mushing my head and talking trash to me and laughing at me is the ultimate revenge, winning. And that's something that he had to learn. I don't know if he's learned it yet, but it might hit him one day. Wayne Gretzky learned in the same thing in the Stanley Cup Finals. He learned from losing when he saw his opponent beaten down and tired and said, we're not beaten down and tired. The next year, they won the championship. Wembanyama's got to learn from this, but he's got to acknowledge who he learned it from, and that who is Jalen Brunson.
I think there was a lot of pettiness. I think words like arrogance come up. I think being a sore loser comes up, and that's a sign of somebody who's 22 years old, who's extremely competitive, who is trying to adapt to what this game is about in this day and age. And I think there's still so much room for growth. But guys, to be frank with you, it's watching somebody become the villain. And the interesting thing is, like, look, I'm from New Jersey, okay? And, you know, the Knicks team is one of the most likable teams there is in the NBA.
Yeah.
The fan base feels different sometimes for a lot of other fans, right, for the way they've handled a couple of different things, right? Wendy overtook the dislike for the Knicks fan base because of some of the things that he did on the court.
Wendy we still like.
Wemby we don't like. You know what I mean? Wendy, right? Wemby did. So it's to me, I think this is a big offseason for him, because I do think that now it's turning that corner into being almost a little bit of a villain. And I'm curious how he's going to channel that. And by the way, I don't want my big guy to be nice, y'all. I don't want my big guy to be like, are you okay?
That's all right.
I don't need that.
So you heard what these gentlemen had to say. Look, Victor Wembanyama has a lot of promise. I thought he was going to be the face of the NBA, but he's way too presumptuous. The show we did on Sunday, he was talking about, I'll be back here in 100 games from now. Who told you you're going to be back there? Who told you that the league is going to lay down for you? Everyone wants to win the championship every single year. We haven't had a back-to-back champion in God knows how long. That means that teams are hungry. Teams are retooling year in and year out. But it's pretty presumptuous of you. And the way he behaved showed his immaturity. And that needs to be checked early. Because if we don't do it and no one says anything, he's going to turn into another LeBron James. This is exactly how LeBron started off. Exactly. Dancing on the sideline, disrespecting his competitors, walking off without shaking hands like he did in the Orlando series. This is how it started. And people kept on making excuses for it, and now it created a monster. to the point where LeBron cannot deal with criticism, to the point where he has people littered all throughout media to cover for him anytime someone says a negative word about him. So we need to call this out immediately. Some people are like, oh, no, man. No, I'm not putting diapers on him. I'm not putting diapers on Wemby. I'm not going to baby him. If that's what you want, go to another channel. I'm not one of those channels where if you like or support a certain player, you're only going to say nice things about him, and then when he doesn't do anything, you don't. So I'm not the cockroach room in one of these clown shows out here. I'm not doing that. I simply refuse to do it. He needs to be called out, and Victor needed to be humbled. He needed to be. He needed to be. There's not a guarantee that you're going to be back here next year. It's not a guarantee. Talking all that mess, talking about, we dominated the series. How can you have dominated the series and you lost 4-1? You didn't even win more than one game. How? The game before game 5. Yeah, everyone knows what we're going to do it. Everyone knows what we're going to do it. No, we don't know anything. You're talking way too much trash. What's all of this arrogance for? Come on, man. It's too much. And it needs to be called out.